Hey guys, this is Isaiah from YourHead Software. Today we're talking about Stacks 4 and all the cool new stuff we've added to it. Now, I've added 5 big new features to Stacks, and we've made one video for each of those big new features. But I wanted to make one more video that kind of rounded up a bunch of the little stuff that we've added to Stacks, because that stuff's pretty cool too. That's this video, and I'm going to try not to make it too long. So hold on to your hats. I'm going to try to do 5 little features and 1 bonus preference. And yeah, let's go. Okay, so I have a nice little document here, and you probably noticed right away that we're supporting Mojave dark mode. I like to run my system in dark mode. I think it's kind of nice and fun. But I know that not everybody does. So of course, we still support the basic white mode too. But we can do better than that. And that's where this bonus little preference comes in. So in the Stacks preferences, we've added some new stuff. So you can choose to run one portion of Stacks or a different portion of Stacks or all of it in one mode or the other. So we can run all of Stacks in light mode, even though we're running RapidWeaver in dark mode. I don't really expect people to do that, but one really common way of running it, I think, will be to run your sidebars in dark mode, but have the content in light mode. A lot of people are building light websites, and having a light background while you're editing the content might make it easier. So yeah, it's up to you. We added preferences so that you can swap it out any way you like. All right, I'm not going to spend too much more time on that. I'll put it back in dark mode, and let's get on to little feature number 1. So little feature number 1 is we've added the ability to specify a CSS class. Now this one is sort of for the code heads out there, people who like to add a little bit of CSS or a little bit of HTML to their Stacks page. So yeah, let's give it a shot. So I'm going to switch over here in the sidebar. Let's see, it's this one. And this lets us add some code to our page. So if you're not into HTML or CSS code, just look away for a sec. This will only be a moment. So I'm going to add, let's see, a border. And we'll add it in a class called bordered. And we need to say, give me a border, and we'll make it 5 pixels, and how about solid blue? And we'll finish that up. Right, so that should put a blue border on anything with the bordered class added to it. So all we need now is to add the bordered class to one of our stacks. Well, in the past, we've been able to do that with some third-party stacks, but there are limitations to what third parties could do. So I decided this would be a perfect thing to add to the native components in Stacks. So now, every stack has one preference down here in the HTML section, CSS classes. So all we have to do now is add bordered here. And theoretically, if we preview, if I did the code right, we should see a blue border around that stack. So it's a quick way to add a little bit of CSS to a specific stack, and it works with every stack. That's one of the nice things, because it's one of the default properties now for all stacks. All right, that's little feature number 1, CSS classes. Little feature number 2 is title customization. So when you have a lot of stacks on the page, it can get a little bit confusing. And in previous versions of Stacks, the title was just the type of stack, which is, that's a good thing. But if you have dozens and dozens of stacks on the page, and a lot of them are the same type of stack, then that's not a lot of information. So now we have the ability to add a title. So I can say my fun title and add that to the stack. And you can see over here the little capsule at the top of the stack now says my fun title. It also says the type of stack. and we've made a little bit more space in the layout so that, yeah, you can have a little bit more text in there, even when the columns are kind of narrow. So yeah, give that a try. So that's feature number 2, title customization. Feature number 3 is the ability to disable publishing. So in the past, we've been able to hide a stack responsively. So for instance, if I don't want this markdown stack to show up on mobile websites, I can hide it on mobile websites. But that markdown stack will still be published to the page. The content will still show up. And if I had something like an image, then that image is actually still going to be uploaded to your website, even if it's hiding on mobile, because it won't be hiding on desktop. And even if I hide it on all 3 platforms, on mobile, tablet, and desktop, well, the assets for that stack will still be uploaded to your site. The HTML for that stack will still be published into your site. It's just hiding with CSS. So we wanted to make a way to like really make a stack not publish. So the assets don't get uploaded. The HTML isn't part of your page. And you can do that by hitting this little checkbox here. Don't publish this stack. Boom. It's just that easy. So now this image will not be published at all. And so if we click preview here, you notice the image doesn't appear at all. And if we would check the HTML code, and I won't bother with that in this short video, but if we could, you'd notice that the HTML for that stack isn't even part of the page. And none of the assets for that will be uploaded at all. All right, that is a quick look at little feature number 3, which is disable publishing. So little feature number 4 is notes. So we can add some notes to our stacks now if we want to, try to help us understand a complex layout. Sometimes you don't remember why a stack is in its place. So we can add a few notes. There. So these notes now appear at the bottom of the stack, and they kind of hover over any other content that's there. And we can even choose to have a few more notes, give ourselves a little bit more space. And if we want to, we can put the notes actually in the HTML. That makes them publish with the page. But they're as a comment in the HTML, so you wouldn't see it as text in the page. But if you go look at the HTML, you can find it in there. So if you want to hide a comment in the HTML for whatever reason, you can do that now. And these properties are default properties, so they appear on every stack, even third-party stacks. Right, that's feature number 4 of 5. This is the last one, feature number 5, and it's a really simple little thing, but a whole bunch of people asked me for this. So I'm hoping that there's a lot of people are pleased by this tiny little feature. Let's see. For this feature, I need a partial. So I'm going to just make a little partial. So I'm going to select this 3-column stack, click the partial button, and now we're editing this partial, and I'm going to back out of the partial. Okay, so normally to edit a partial, we double click, but I'm not going to do it this time. Instead, I'm going to jump over here to the library, and I can now double click right in the library to edit this partial. So here we go. Double click, and now it edits this partial, just as if we double clicked on it in the layout. And one of the nice things about that is if we, say, forgot to name the partial very well and called it partial number 148, then double clicking on it, we can open it up and see what content it is and go, oh yeah, that's what partial this is. Maybe give it a good name. So now we know it's our 3 columns partial. In fact, you don't even have to be on a page that has that partial being used. So even if there's nothing on this page, I can still double click on this 3 column partial in the library, open it up to edit it, see what kind of content's in it, and maybe then use it. So that's just a quick, tiny little workflow efficiency that we've added to Stacks to help you edit your partials and, yeah, orient yourself between the partials in your library and the partials that are in your layout, and jump back and forth between edit mode and the layout of that partial. All right, so that is a quick look at 5 little features and 1 little preference in Stacks 4. But I want to make sure that you guys go watch all the other videos for Stacks 4 because there's some good stuff. We've added 5 big new features, and that's stuff like multiple selection and externals. Externals are a lot like partials, and it's the big new feature of Stacks 4. So definitely make sure and go check that video out. In fact, check out all 5 of the feature videos. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.